This isn't your typical motorsports podcast. You're listening to Crush This, a monster truck podcast presented by High Octane Coffee and J Concepts. A show where we take you inside the minds of your favorite drivers, past and present, of the monster truck industry. And now, your hosts, Brad Shaw and Dan Chichagash. Buckle in. The show starts now.
Welcome to another episode of Crush This, a monster truck podcast presented by High Octane Coffee and J Concepts Garage. How you doing? My name is Dan Agash. A lot of people call me Cheech. Brad's right now working on, I believe, with his band up in Canada. He's a producer. Everyone knows that. He's doing big things with his band. I don't know the name of it. I'm sorry. I guess I don't follow him as much as I should follow him. But just wanted to let you guys know that we'll be out on YouTube, so look at the episodes. So I know a lot of you guys having issues with the Spotify. This time we're going to go ahead and also put the episode on YouTube, so you get your iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and YouTube all in that segment. So we're going to be starting to do that. One of the first episodes that we're going to have here that you guys can listen to on YouTube, because it's just going to be there's going to be Crush This MT for all the YouTube people, is what I actually a couple weeks ago saw in Evansville when me and Mark did the show over there at the 4-H fair. Always a cool guy. See him all the time at all the events, Hall of Fame, and even maybe some other events. I can't name it because I see him so much on those events, and they're really a general and a nice guy. Representing Everett Jasmer and the USA-1. He also he does still own the truck, Quadzilla. This is Roger Gallagher. How you doing today, sir?
Great, Cheech. How you doing, buddy? It's always good to see you and talk to you.
Will do. Pretty good. Just getting ready for a few shows here, and I know you're getting ready too. A little bit of out of action right now. If anyone here, I go ahead and go 411. Last week in Owensboro, Kentucky, Roger was burning it down for the Kentucky fans and sacrificed his motor. So he took it out, and right now I guess they're working on it. They put it back to catch up with Scott Hardsock and the Gunslinger for points in this Full Throttle Tour, which we'll talk about later on in this conversation that we're having with Roger. But for the fans, actually, this is pretty good, because I think the fans just know you coming out with Quadzilla. And I don't think a lot of people know how you got started in the monster truck industry. And if you want to, I always ask this the first question. It's kind of like a timeline deal. But how did you get started, and what got you interested in these big old Tonka trucks?
Well, back in the late 80s, early 90s, I'm like all the other kids and stuff. I guess I was young guys. I was watching it on TV and everything, and had the opportunity to help a guy show one of the monster trucks, and just kind of got the fever, and we started from there. We did several shows, helped him with several shows and what have you, and like I said, I always kind of had a street truck and what have you, and jacked up street truck, 4-wheel drive, what have you, big mud truck, and just was really interested in the monster trucks and wanted to get involved in it. So in 1991, I believe it was, my wife Kathy, my girlfriend at the time, fiance, we decided we were going to get married, and we went down to Gatlinburg, and was able to. That's where we took our honeymoon and what have you. And I said, yeah. So we're going down to Gatlinburg, then we're going to go on over to Kingsport, Tennessee, where I'm looking to buy one of the monster trucks. So what I actually did was buy the Bad News monster truck, the original Bad News monster truck from Norman Myers out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And we took that truck and brought it home, and basically worked on it for about a year and totally revamped the truck. It had a 350 small block, about a 600 horse 350 small block in it, and the truck weighed about 12,000 pounds back then. All the trucks were really heavy with leaf spring trucks and big 5-ton military axles and stuff underneath it. But we brought the truck home and pulled the old 2.5-ton transfer case out of it, and put an all-aluminum quick change transfer case in it, and we pulled the 350 small block out of it, and I put a blown fuel-injected big block Chevrolet. So I doubled the horsepower and lightened the truck up about 1,000 pounds. So we had it where it moved pretty good then. So we started campaigning that truck probably in '92, and just kind of went from there. We've started off with that, and then we've actually started building a tube chassis truck, one of the new tube chassis with the nitrogen shocks and stuff, and that was the original Quadzilla that we built back then. But that's kind of how things started for us. We started off, bought the first truck to get our foot in the door, and started from there.
So yeah, so you campaigned. Actually, I mean, I think what was it? Was it actually called Bad News Travels Fast, or was it just called Bad News?
No, it was just back then. It was just Bad News. That was the original Bad News, is what it was. It was a yellow Chevrolet called Bad News.
Okay, I think I've seen that truck before. So you got the Quadzilla. What got you to name the truck Quadzilla? Was there a theme? Was there a joke, or was there something you saw that was thought pretty cool? I'm gonna put the name on it.
Well, what we decided we were doing, I kind of had all the family together. I think it was a Christmas time or something like that, and I kind of threw out that we were trying to come up with a name for the new truck. And actually, my brother-in-law was actually the one that came up with the name, and he said, "What about Quadzilla?" And I said, "Well, what's your thoughts on that?" And he said, "Well, Godzilla is the big monster, and quad is four wheels, so it's a four-wheel monster, And that's kind of how we come up with the idea of the Quadzilla. And the original truck had like a dinosaur painted on the side of it. It was airbrushed and stuff on the side of it. That was the original Quadzilla truck back like in '96, '97, something like that, I believe.
So, further down the line, you kept up with the monster truck world itself. Now your Quadzilla that got popularity in the last let's say 10 years that you've been doing it. But when that truck came out, the Super Duty one, what was the story behind that one? Everyone always asks why the truck's body was always seemed like it was forward, like it was off mounted. Maybe people can
right. The body actually. Go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say, probably fans probably want to wonder. So,
right. People, a lot of people ask us that question. And the way we designed the truck, we were trying to get the truck, the cab and stuff centered exactly where we wanted it. And we just was trying some different things as far as putting the roll cage, trying to get the weight distribution right and stuff like that. So the cab actually set just a little bit forward than what they normally set. But like I said, back in then, when we started off, we were trying to get the with the second Quadzilla, we were trying to get the weight distribution and everything right, and we kind of did some changing on some things, and it ended up where the cab actually looked like it set forward a little bit. That's what happened.
Oh, okay. So then you campaign that truck, you gain popularity with the Quadzilla truck, and how did you get into the mixture with Everett Jasmer, and now you are campaigning, the historical USA-1 truck, which very few drivers can attest and say they can drive, the original world champion.
Right. Well, Scott Bryant is a good friend of mine. Scott and I started kind of hanging out together at truck shows and stuff. But he actually kind of become my crew chief whenever we had was running the campaign, the Quadzilla truck. He was traveling around with us, and really a great guy, and he's great help. He's a great person in general. He started, we started talking about building a new chassis, what have you, and kind of updating some stuff. And we kind of had a theme picked out and a name and stuff picked out that we are going to put on this new chassis. Well, this kind of out of the blue one evening, Scott called me and said, "Hey, do you? I know you were thinking about, you had something else in mind as far as the name and stuff on this new chassis." And he said, "Would you consider possibly running someone else's name on it?" And I said, "Well, I really hadn't thought about it." And the conversation went on for some time, and he said, he kind of kept talking to me about it, and I said, well, who are you talking about? He goes, well, I know somebody that was really been talking to him about you, and was really interested in meeting you and possibly discussing an opportunity here. And I said, well, who are you talking about? He said, well, it's an older name truck that they want to bring back into the monster truck racing industry. And he said he's very, back in the day he was, pretty well known and everything, but he had been out of the business for just a little while. Really was not out of the business, but hadn't been campaigning a truck on the racing circuit. And finally I asked him, I said, well, who are you talking about? And he said, well, it's USA-1. And I said, Everett Jasmer? And he goes, yes. And I said, really? And he goes, yeah. He said, I've been talking to Everett, and I think it'd be a good thing for you guys to meet up and talk and meet each other and talk and see if we can't work out a deal, because he's looking for somebody to help bring the name back into the monster truck racing. And he said, with your new chassis and everything and the way you're doing it, he said, I think that'd be a really good fit. So he said, we need to maybe discuss it a little further. So that's what we did. And like I said, thanks to Scott Bryant and all his help and everything, and kind of helping us get, meet up with Everett and get the deal going. It's worked out pretty well for us, and I think it's worked out pretty well for Everett as well, because we've been doing some pretty good shows with it and changing the body and stuff up once in a while. So we've been pretty good with it. We're pretty pleased.
I was about to say, you guys went from the 2012 /14 Chevy body to now the 78, 77 Chevy body truck.
Yeah, it's the early 70s model. Yes. Yeah, we just brought that out because the green light toys and stuff are out now for the 70s model truck, and it just worked out at good timing. We were discussing about possibly changing some things up and giving it a new look, and we decided Scott and I was talking about possibly doing something to change things up, and we thought about going retro, going back to the 70s model body. And he said, well, that'd be a good thing, because the models, the little toys and stuff from Greenlight are coming out. So he said that would be really a pretty good fit. So we Scott and I kind of talked about it, and we approached Everett about it, and he was good with it. So we proceeded from there.
Well, and then became a pretty nice, decent truck, and it's pretty awesome. See, I like it. I think a lot of people like it, and I think it's pretty cool that the feedback that you're getting is pretty awesome. With that, I've been following a little bit of a trait a lot of these guys have been doing, and doing first quarter shows maybe off and on, but your full strength of schedule has been going on with the spring and summer and early fall. I know a couple other teams that are very popular that do the same thing, and your strong tour that you've been going with is the Full Throttle Tour. Maybe people are just starting to get a hang of this new tour that's coming around in the summertime. I knew JR through MTRA, but still maybe talk about the Full Throttle Tour, and also a pretty cool event that's coming up in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, J.R. Rouse with Full Throttle Monster Trucks. He's putting on a tour, and I think this is like the third year, I believe, third or fourth year we've had the opportunity to run with him on this spring-summer tour, and it's really turned out to be a really good tour. Last year, it was Gunslinger, Scott Hartsock, Gunslinger, and myself with the USA-1. Right up to the last show, we were actually tied for the points. And we was actually able to get enough points for the last show to win the 2018 Full Throttle Monster Truck Championship. That's the first championship that the USA-1 team has won since Everett and them guys won it back that many years ago. So we were very happy about that. And it was a good eye-opening experience, I think, for let everybody know that, hey, the USA-1 truck is back. And we're doing our best to campaign it and put on a good show and everything. But like I said, there's a lot of good trucks on that tour. It's always good to check them out. They're doing a lot of the county fairs and stuff like that now, but it's a regular tour, and they're going to crown the championship. This is going to be being out a couple of shows here is going to hurt me with my points and stuff. So not sure exactly how that's going to work. When we get the motor back in it, I'm going to have to really put her to the wood then. But doing pretty good with it. We, like I said, are just happy to be a part of it. And with the other trucks and stuff that they have running, there's a lot of good trucks running with him. And it's always something good to catch up on, if you get the opportunity. And that there's a show coming up August the 17th. It's at the Gibson County Fairgrounds in Princeton, Indiana. And that is a show calling it the Scott Bryant Benefit Show is what they're calling it. Scott was critically injured in an accident, and everybody's pitching in. We're getting trucks and stuff are coming out to help us out. Right now we have at least 10 monster trucks scheduled to be there. And just to name a few of them, I mean, this is all subject to change, but like USA-1, we're going to be there. The Venom truck, Against the Grain, Lethal Threat, Bugzilla, Never Satisfied, Strong, Earthquake, Orange Crate, One Bad Hombre, and then they're also going to have some mini monsters, one called American Scout, same full throttle tour now, and another small mini monster called Blowing Daddy's Money. And there's it's the title sponsor for the event, in Princeton, so they've stepped up to help us out. They're going to have the mini monsters. They're going to have side-by-sides. The whole event, I think, actually starts on Saturday, August 17th, and it's actually like a show and shine competition for four-wheel drives and just basically a car show starting that early. And then they're going to do the old-school monster trucks. Are going to run, I think, at 2 p.m. Then there's a pit party that starts at 4. Then the monster truck show, racing and freestyle, 7. And it's going to be an awesome event. It's going to be a good family friend event that you can bring the kids and stuff out to. There's even some of the Hottie Shrine Funsters. Bubbles the Clown, I believe, is going to be there, and maybe a couple others coming out to help out. And there'll probably be little stuff for the kids and everything. It's just a great family event that's going to be there at the Gibson County Fairgrounds in Princeton. So we're really looking forward to it. We're going to have a lot of stuff, items. A lot of the teams, race teams and stuff, have given us items to auction off. A lot of the local businesses around the Evansville area and Princeton area have stepped up and helped us with some bunch of donations and stuff. So it's really going to be a huge event. We're expecting a lot of people, a lot. So it's going to be something to see. And if you want to get pre-sale tickets, you can go to www.eventbrite.com. I think the tickets are like $10 and $20. That's for an all-day event. You know what I'm saying? You'll spend more than that, going to a local show or taking the kids out somewhere. You can go out there and spend all day long with the show and shine and autographs with the drivers and the auction items and the 2 different monster truck shows. So it's going to be a really awesome event, and look forward to a lot of people being there.
Well, that's be awesome to see. When was the date again, by the way, for it?
It's August the 17th.
August the 17th, so that's a few weeks away, and it'd be awesome to go see, and also cool to listen about the full throttle program too. Now, outside of the world of monster trucks, what do you do fun, or do you have any hobbies? Or you're in the Evansville area, and that's the bluegrass state. So I'm not near the bluegrass state, so just seeing you hang out there, or
Yeah, we do quite a bit. My wife and I, we've just finished up building a new house stuff here on our property, and we're looking forward to kind of doing some fishing and just kind of enjoying a little bit of downtime here down the road, because we've been busy working on our house and with the monster truck and everything like that. So hobby-wise, we got four-wheelers stuff. We ride four-wheelers and stuff like that, and just kind of hang out, enjoy some good country music, and hang out with friends and family and stuff. So it's a good time, and we always look forward to having people come out with us and what have you. So we just kind of hang out around the house. So we do other things. We go catch a ball game once in a while and some stuff like that, and do a little traveling once in a while. But for the most part, we got quite a bit to do with trying to run 2 trucks and stuff. So we're pretty busy with that. But when we do have some downtime, we do take advantage of it.
I'll tell you what, it's always it's always a good time to take some downtime and enjoy the life around, because you know how it is with the monster life. It comes pretty fast, and before you know it, you're trying to figure out how to find some time and to just relax. With that, I mean, so I mean, I guess you're a fishing connoisseur. So, do you do a lot of freshwater, or if you get a chance to do some saltwater onshore fishing, do you do that?
We've done that before, where we went on vacations and stuff to Florida and stuff like that, but mainly kind of freshwater fishing. We kind of enjoyed that, and just kind of some of the local places, local lakes and stuff around our area here and stuff. We try to take advantage of some of them, because we don't always have time to take a long trip, but when we do take a vacation, we definitely enjoy it.
I hear you on that. And just here, my question is, what was the story behind the powder coat of the? I guess it's supposed to be gold, but it looks kind of like copper on your USA-1 truck.
Right. That is actually the bronze. It's called a bronze. And once again, back to like we were talking earlier, how this really took place. We were scheduled to do a different identity on the truck, so we had plans to go with the original a different identity when the USA-1 opportunity come about. So that was the newest chassis we had. So we wanted to put give us the best opportunity we had to put the USA-1 truck on the newest body on the newest chassis we had. So there's a lot of people have asked a lot of questions about that, and it's not that we were trying to be different or anything like that. It's just the way it worked out. The identity was supposed to be a different identity on the truck when we originally started, and then we kind of got changed with the USA-1, and then we're hoping to continue that deal. But if something does fall through down the road here or what have you, we can always go back to our original identity that we had picked out. But for the most part, everything's good. We're doing good with the USA-1 name, and Everett and us, everything's going pretty good. So we're going to stick with that. But that's kind of what the deal is with the bronze. And there's a lot of people, and I appreciate you asking, because there's a lot of people that do ask that question: how come you went with bronze? And it's just the opportunity was there that we were going to run a different name, and that was the newest chassis we had. So we wanted to give it the best shot we could to bring back the USA-1 name. That's the reason why we did that.
You don't know how many different stories I heard about it. One person said that you guys colored the chassis up to honor the housings that were on the USA-1 2 truck, because it had gold housings on it, and they thought it'd be like that. Or they thought that it was a mistake, and it was a different shade of gold, the truck was supposed to be gold and stuff like that. And there's different stories just based off of the simple reasoning behind it. So it was pretty cool that you clarified it and cleared the air on why the truck was like that. To me, I think it's awesome, especially with that 70s Chevy body on the truck. It kind of matched with it. I've always been a single cab fan, and I believe like USA-1 and Bigfoot should always be a single cab truck. But with today's society, it's hard to do now. Today's trucks are now going to be quad or extended or crew cab trucks, and it's hard to find now even one single cab truck now, unless you specially order it. But still, that's me being a old school fan, Young's fan, and etc. on that. But with the USA-1, are you getting more bookings than you can handle with that truck? Because right now with everything that truck and what you're doing, you're right now like one of the most popular trucks in the summertime. So I got a feeling you're probably getting phone calls left and right.
Yeah, the phone is starting to ring a little more. Yes, we've had since we've had the new body and stuff on there. There's a lot of people have been talking about it on Facebook and what have you, different media sites, and it is starting to grow on people a little bit. And I think one thing is, I believe that people really kind of like about it is the fact that we put the original Fender Flares back on it. It kind of gives it a different look than what everybody else has got. Excuse me. Did I lose you?
Yep. You good?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if you were still talking about the Fender Flares, and you said, excuse me, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll wait. But no,
that's what I was saying. As far as the Fender Flares themselves, they, a lot of people even question. I didn't think them things would stay on there that long, so we're hoping to stay on for a good long time because I think it's a big hit with just the older body and going back to the original thing, and then actually put the Fender Flares and stuff on it. You may see a couple other pieces being added to it as well that come off the original truck.
Now, one thing I want to know about the Full Throttle tour, maybe people don't know about, is it's not like any other tour where you've been to it with Monster Jam and other tours where we race every weekend. It seems like you guys are racing every 2 days.
Yes, it gets to be pretty hefty schedule sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Especially with us working a full-time schedule. We do a regular work. We have a regular job where we work also because we're not actually doing the monster trucks full-time. So we work in a regular job. Both myself, my wife, and some of the crew guys and stuff work their regular jobs. And so everybody's juggling their schedules and everything, trying to get to make all the shows that we can possibly make. And a lot of them, like you said, are every couple of days and through the weeks and what have you. So it's just not like on the weekend thing with Monster Jam and some of the other, tours and stuff like that. I mean, we're always happy to be a part of those. But there's a lot to it especially when you're running back-to-back a couple shows. I
mean, like before Owensboro, didn't you have 2 shows in Ohio and then Owensboro? I know you guys had a show where you had 2 shows in 2 days, and then you went Owensboro, so that was like 3 shows in 5 days.
Right. Well, we started off. It actually started off, I think, in Rushville. I'm sorry, actually, it started off in Albany. The tour started off in Albany, I believe, and then they went to Rushville, and Rushville got rained out, and then we did a Scottsburg show. Then we did a show in Elnora, Indiana. Then we did Shelbyville, I believe, in Portland, Indiana, and then we did a show in Owensboro, I believe, then they did Columbus, and tonight is Franklin, Indiana. So I mean, it's and this tour has only been going on just a few weeks, and so we've been jumping around quite a bit, and it's a very, very busy tour, and they're great people. I mean, the people that actually run the tour, it's how it is with the monster trucks. It's a family, thing. Everybody helps each other until we get to the starting line, and it's every driver for himself, But everybody's really good about helping each other and stuff like that. So that way, if we do have some breakage, everybody kind of jumps in and helps the next, whoever needs help, and we all just work together to pull together to put on the event. Because for the fans, that's what it's all about. We're out there running because we want to, but we're out there running to please the fans, and that's a big part of it.
I think it's pretty cool that you guys got Scott Hartsock with you guys in the Gunslinger, especially when he's all the way in Florida, which I think it's pretty cool. And they're starting to become a little bit of a friendly rivalry between USA-1 and Gunslinger. It always has to be a Ford, doesn't it, Roger? It has to be a Ford.
Yeah.
If it's not Bigfoot, it has to be another Ford.
Yep.
So how is that going? And how cool is it to tour with Scott?
Scott as a person is a great person. Even behind the scenes, he's really personable. I mean, like I said, we all really enjoy each other's company and stuff, and we look forward to going to the next event and stuff to visit with people and what have you. But Scott. When he comes in, like I said, he comes from Florida. When he comes in and sets up, he comes in with guns blazing. I'm telling you, he's game on. He's ready to, like I said, we're friends when we're back in the pits and stuff. But when we get in the trucks and go out there, then all bets are off. It's every person for themselves. So he definitely always puts on an exciting show wherever he goes. But like I said, he's a great person. He's a great competitor. And like I said, everybody just kind of works together and helps each other out. So it's really a good opportunity. It's a learning experience. I've been doing this going on 28 years now. So I mean that's quite a while for us to be doing what we're doing. But Scott, we've met a lot of people along the way. through all these years and all the shows and different tours and stuff we run. But Scott is definitely, one of the good guys in the business. You know what I'm saying? He's very well respected, and when he comes out, he's ready to run. He's not messing around. So it's always a good rivalry between him and I, and we always look forward to it. So I've beat him some, and he's beat me some. So it's kind of back and forth. And like I said, it's being out here a little bit with the motor issue and stuff. It's going to be, he's going to get some points on me. So I'm going to have to play catch up here as soon as we get this thing put back in the truck.
What I really like about the tour is not just you and Scott. There's also other veterans there, like the Nichters with Stomper, and then you have one group that I think took a break, but now they're back and running is the guys from near Indianapolis who owned they just debuted a truck in your guys' tour. Mistress and
yep.
They run the Orange Crate.
Never Satisfied.
Yes, I know they have a history. Sorry for interrupting. My bad, Roger.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
It's Don Borders out of up around Terre Haute, up by Indianapolis. I believe that's who you're talking about, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Don originally had a truck, I believe, called Mistress, and I actually run into Don, believe it or not, in the Pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee. That didn't even know Don that I remember. Ran into him down there, met him at the Memphis Pyramid, and got to know him, become friends. And like I said, then they were out of it for a little while, what have you. And now they brought back their truck. They had a truck called Monkey Business. And now they brought back this truck called Never Satisfied. And it's a good truck. I mean, it's got a little bit small block. It's got a small block engine in it. But he's really competitive. Really competitive, and he's doing pretty good on the tour. Matter of fact, I may be wrong, but I think he's like in third place on points. So he's right there with us, So then there's another truck called give me a second to try to think of the name of it.
Country Strong.
Todd Lockwood's truck. Got Country Strong's there, and then
Invader 1.
Todd Lockwood's got Invader 1. Yes, thank you. Sorry, I couldn't think of the name of it. And then Zach Adams is there with Annihilator truck. So I mean, there's a lot of good trucks on this tour, and it's really exciting. And actually, Darren Meningus and with Nitro Menace and their other truck Jailbird, they're in this tour off and on too. So I mean, there's a lot of good names and
the name that's
big time players.
The name that's actually filling you in right now, Alan Pizzo. Predator. I mean, that's a historical truck right there, and I think it's pretty cool. And off the grid here, if anyone wants to know a little bit of a bio of I believe Don, if you can YouTube Indianapolis Monster Jam 1999 TNN in that order. They had a televised event and they had a small video about Don. And he ran his trucks in action in the video. You can more than welcome to take a look at that. But yeah, I always thought maybe that'd be pretty cool if you guys did a old school versus new school points team championship. Have the legendary names like USA-1, Gunslinger, Predator, versus Country Strong, Never Satisfied. Jailbird, stuff. So that'd be pretty cool, like to see if you guys do that. But still, the mixture of trucks that JR puts on, it's pretty cool, and it looks like the tracks are pretty simple and fun.
Yeah, they are, and the track guys and stuff usually lay out really a nice track, and it's a good track for the fans because I mean, some of them they set up, we get some pretty good air and stuff off of, and we've done straight line racing and we've done Chicago style racing. And how wild and crazy freestyle gets. So the track guys have been building some great tracks for us. And JR has got good help, people backing him and everything. So things are going good.
Another truck I totally forgot that you guys actually had debuted was Vern House and that Jeep, which was the old Wild Thing chassis, but he put a Jeep body on it, and I forget the name of the truck. The Dysfunctional. Something like that. Is it
Yes,
dysfunctional?
I
Yeah.
believe you're right. I believe it is.
Yeah, that truck
Yep.
debuted in one of your guys' first shows this year, which is pretty cool to see
Yes.
also.
Yeah, I believe he debuted that in Scottsburg. Yeah, that was the old that was the Doug Charles Wild Thing chassis, and then he put the Jeep body and stuff on. So yeah, it seemed to be running pretty good when I seen it when run against him. Yes, it was awesome.
Yeah, I mean it's just I think it's pretty cool seeing that and and all that stuff and uh I mean maybe I may bring this topic up and I don't know if maybe people may be a little bit curious on the up to date of your second truck Quadzilla because maybe some people are curious why it's not in the field when you're racing USA-1. Uh, there's some news on that truck. There's I hear stories of
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I, I can give you an update on that truck. We are in the process of redoing that truck, and then like I said, Scott was my crew chief. So we were in the process kind of redoing that when he got critically injured. So we've kind of had to put that on the back burner. But we've basically revamped that truck, and it's going to be a really awesome piece when we get it done. Because I mean we've changed some stuff up on it, and I don't know if you that familiar with like our housings and stuff that we run on the USA-1. We run the Russ Gerhardt billet spindles and champagnes and stuff on that truck. And then we actually have got some nice parts like that we're going to be putting on under the Quadzilla chassis. We're like I said, we're revamping that thing. It's going to be extremely nice piece. We've got the roll cage and stuff. When I say we're revamping, I mean we've taken basically everything from the main frame rails above off the chassis and put a whole new roll cage on it, new shock towers and stuff on it. So it's going to be a really, really nice piece in this thing. But it's going to be a little bit before that's ready to run because with my busy schedule with work and everything, and like I said, with Scott getting hurt, slowed us down a little bit. But he's on the mend. He's coming back strong, and we're really excited and looking forward to getting back on that thing and getting it put back together and getting it back out there in front of the fans. And you never know, you may see a new body come out on that thing. You never know, maybe something different.
It's always exciting to see if there's anything different in the world of your guys' team and is there any? Are you still doing more with the Full Throttle Tour, or you're gonna be also doing a little bit of different shows?
Well, we've got a few other opportunities that I think are coming up, but I can't elaborate on them a whole lot at the moment until we get some more paperwork and stuff taken care of. But we do have more shows coming up on the Full Throttle Tour. And then we've got another show coming up in Paoli, Indiana. I think we're going to be involved in that show up there. So, but yeah, we've got several more shows, I believe, and we picked up a few other events. And we also have some other stuff, like I said, all the I's have not been dotted and T's crossed yet to get everything else going on it. But we've got looking at some other opportunities, doing some more shows with the new body and everything on it. We're really excited about it.
That's pretty cool, and everything that you guys been doing. Is there any type of social media that fans can follow?
Yeah, our Facebook page is Gauger Motorsports. That's Gauger Motorsports. They can follow us on Facebook. A lot of videos and pictures and show pictures and stuff from the events and stuff we've done, and some you may see a few teasers on there once in a while of some stuff that's going on in the shop, and like it was when before we brought out the USA-1, the new body and stuff. There we put a few teasers up there, let everybody see, kind of get the thoughts going on what's actually going on at our shop, and we're always look forward to getting more friends, Facebook friends and stuff, and people checking that out.
That's pretty cool, and also. I guess does Everett have a website too that maybe people can follow USA-1, or is that ties in with you, or still a little bit of a separate entity?
Yeah, I think it's Everett's actually is USA-1 4x4, I believe. Best I know, but it can also go to our site and probably get to Everett's Facebook or web page or whatever through the Gallagher Motorsports site or get on the internet and get it off of there.
All right. Well, Roger, thank you for your time. And I actually, no, Neil, actually have two more questions to ask you. And these are hard-hitting fact ones. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Bring them
on. Okay. Well, the first question is what's your favorite pie?
What's my favorite pie?
Yeah. Hard-hitting.
My favorite pie? Any. Probably apple pie. Pie.
Right now, apple pie has been in the winner. Right now, I got about 7 people liking it. A close second at 4 is pumpkin, and 3 right now with pecan. So, I actually have 1 with pizza, because pizza is a pie. I have 1 as a cheesecake. And, yes, I've been following, but I've just been marking them down. People say what type of pie they want, and then I mark it down.
There you go.
It's hard-hitting questions right there. Another one, I also, it's not really a question, but I think it's pretty cool that a lot of people don't do this often, is, outside of working on monster trucks, you actually do enjoy going to the shows. Outside of just a couple weeks ago, the Evansville show, you also went to Orlando for the World Finals, and it seems like you also you and your wife like to go to the monster truck shows and just watch them.
Yes, yeah, we do. Even if it's always great because, like I said, we know a lot of the guys and stuff because we've run with them for so many years and everything. It's always good to go back and visit with people. But I go out to the truck shows just because I'm in love with the sport. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of drag my wife along, so she goes with me as much as we can. But and like I said, I just enjoy going. Like I said, we've gone to Vegas several times. Actually, a couple of years ago, we took the trucks out to Vegas and had that opportunity, got to have that experience out there. And then Orlando, we went down to Monster Jam down in Orlando stuff. So that was neat. But even the local shows, anything that I can hit, I'm in love with the sport. I love the monster trucks. I love the industry, and a lot of great people involved in it. With the industries and with the sport and everything as it grows.
Yeah, that gives a lot of hope when people listen to this, because there's a lot of people in this industry that doesn't like it. I'm one of the few that love it. I'll go to any show. People ask me what I do on my day off. I'll work on my RC monster truck. I go from 1.1 scale to 10th scale. I don't know, that's just me. I like the RC side of it. It's pretty cool. And I think it's awesome that people maybe can hear saying, you can fall in love with this stuff and love the industry and go watch and stuff like that, and still be a part of a group of top-notch monster trucks that are in the country right now. And I think that's very uplifting for people to take a look at it. And I do appreciate that. It's pretty cool that that you love the sport the way it is, the ups and downs, the everything that involves in life in the sport. It's pretty cool, and I do thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, life's full of ups and downs. You make your life for what it is. You know what I'm saying? You choose your life, and this is what I chose to do. And it's just, I love it, and I love the people involved with it. And like I said, that's the reason why we do so much travel around and stuff and go to the other shows and stuff, just because we enjoy visiting with people and visiting with the fans. We'll be out somewhere and somebody will come up to me, and I won't even have a shirt on or something, and say, hey, can I have your autograph or something? Not even realize, I didn't even know they had any idea who I was, And that makes you feel good because the fans recognize you and everything. But it's always good to go out and visit with the people, and because the fans is what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? If they weren't buying tickets and going to the shows and enjoying the stuff and the pit parties and stuff like that, these things wouldn't be these things would be sitting. We wouldn't have the opportunity to be out there running them like we do and enjoying it.
Well, the saying goes, they become are 12,000-pound paperweights.
Yep, that's about right.
But here's another last question. Do more fans know you now driving USA-1, or do they still call you the driver of Quadzilla? My bad. Oh, jeez. Too much quads, but...
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to say probably with the USA-1 name has brought a little more exposure to our team as a group, because, like I said, we've done really well with Quadzilla. To build it from where it was, from basically nothing, and build a backing and stuff with it that we had. And like I said, when this opportunity come along to run the USA-1 name, I think that has kind of boosted our motorsport team. So I think it's definitely helped for sure. But we'll just see what the future brings here, and we're going to continue in the sport as long as we can, just because we enjoy it and enjoy being with the fans and everything, and talking to great people like yourself.
Well, thank you for everything. So right now, if you guys go, I think Full Throttle has a Facebook page. If not, you can see Rogers' USA-1 page and try to catch them at a show near the Midwest. The Full Throttle tour, does a lot of the stuff in the Midwest. I think they do a lot of between Indiana, Kentucky, and Illinois. Occasionally Ohio, I believe. But outside of that, mostly the mid east. I don't know, but go ahead and check them out. Roger, I want to say thank you, and also if you guys listen to this episode beforehand, you have a kid, try to get the auction of the Raminator T-shirt and hero card. You're welcome. Anyway. But Roger, I really like to thank you, and I'll see you around.
That sounds good, buddy. I appreciate the opportunity, and like I said, it's great that you're doing this, the blog and everything, and the people are actually able to tune in, and you're going back and talking to some of the other people, visiting with some of the monster truck drivers, and visiting with them, and talking with everybody, and putting it out there for the fans to hear, and because a lot of people don't get to experience what you're doing, and I just want to, I appreciate what you're doing and the efforts that you're making to make this all possible. I thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Me and Brad just did this. We're I don't know how, we're like the PBS station, I guess. Everything is we just go through us, and we're two also loving fans of this motorsports, and the platform of me working in the industry got me to get to some of the people to do interviews, and a lot of the wrestling people have podcasts, a lot of NASCAR people have podcasts, and not a lot of the monster truck people have podcasts. We have the radio, but I think that was more of a radio show, and all monster, it's hit or miss, but there's not a consistent group, and I think we're trying our dangest to keep on getting material to everyone, and try to be as close as possible to the fans in general, because like my grandfather always says, you pull on the same pants as the President of the United States of America. So it is what it is, but it's pretty cool that that people are listening, and everything like that. So Roger, I like to say thank you, and for this interview. Before we take off and send this over to Canada, we're close to 3,000 likes on our Facebook page. Go ahead, like it. I'm going to do a giveaway. Try to click on that like button. Also go on YouTube. We're going to start having the episodes on YouTube and keep on track on that. Decals are coming out too, which Roger, I got to send you one if you want to put on your USA-1 truck. I have it on the Hall Brothers. Marty has his on his trucks. The Miguez's have it on their trucks. It'd be much love and support. You don't have to put it on the body. You can put it on the chassis, or if you have Lexan, put on the Lexan. People spot that. So, and people may ask a question. You're one of the guests. You can feel free to let them know about the Crush This Monster Truck podcast. So I have to send you 4 of them, of 2 on each side of USA-1 and 2 on each side of hopefully when Quadzilla comes back out. So thank you. That'd be pretty cool. But fans,
that'd be awesome. I look forward to getting them, buddy.
Will do. Fans, just want to say thank you once again. Thank you for Roger for the 16th time. Fans, once again, I'm Dan Agosh. Cheech, that's also over there in Canada land is the Monster Truck Canucker, Brad Shaw. Keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up. And also want to say thanks to High Octane Coffee, Joe Sylvester, and Josh and Fred from J Concepts, the RC group. Thank you for representing our podcast, and thank you for believing in us. Well, thank you, and we'll try our best to represent you guys. But anyway, once again, I'm Dan Agosh, Brad Shaw. We just got done talking to USA-1 driver Roger Gallagher, and we are out.